Screams echoed down the hallway as the first alien skiff sliced through the sky, its shadow swallowing the soccer field. Mira Santos grabbed her brother's emergency bracelet from her wrist. Leo was 3 floors down, and yanked open the classroom door, shoving classmates inside before the perimeter seal hummed to life, locking every exit with an invisible force field that crackled against the chain-link fence. Now. Mira's voice cut through the panic, her heart slamming as she scanned the room. 24 kids, wide-eyed, some already crying. Outside, more skiffs buzzed like hornets, jamming signals, phones dead, Wi-Fi gone, the principal's PA system spitting static. The overhead speakers crackled back to life, not with the usual morning announcements, but a voice like grinding metal, precise and devoid of warmth. Human juveniles of Sector 7 educational node. This is Commander Lear of the Collective Ascendancy. Your species' neural plasticity offers irreplaceable value. Surrender voluntarily for examination. Resistance delays the inevitable. We seek not destruction, but integration. Your individual memories will enrich the whole. Step forward unmarked and preserve your flesh. Gasps rippled through the room. Mira's stomach twisted. Integration? Assimilation. She'd glimpsed the vids last night. Rumors of other schools gone silent. Kids vanishing into those sleek ships. No time for questions. Barricade the door, she snapped, dragging desks with Kai at her side. Kai, you and Sophia. Props against the windows. Jamal, stack chairs here. We hold this room. Classmates scrambled, fear sharpening their movements. A girl whimpered about her mom. Mira shot her a look. Focus, or we all end up integrated. She ripped the class badge from her uniform, a cheap embroidered eagle clutching a book, and pinned it dead center on the door with a thumbtack, its threads fraying under her fingers. This is us. Not numbers, not memories for their hive. Kai wiped sweat from his brow, already prying open the ancient intercom panel by the teacher's desk. Mira, this thing's wired to the whole building. If I bypass the jammer? His fingers danced over exposed wires, splicing a phone charger battery he'd scavenged from his backpack. Sparks flew, but the speaker hummed faintly. Outside, skiffs hummed closer, their undersides glowing with scan beams that swept the halls like searchlights. Mira pressed her ear to the door, breath shallow. Footsteps, metallic, deliberate, approached from the east wing. Kai folded a sheet of notebook paper, with quick, precise creases, his scholarship-calloused hands turning it into an origami crane. He wedged it into the vent grill above the door, balancing a paperclip as a trigger, motion sensor, low-tech. Breeze from a patrol opening a door shifts it. Clip falls, tinkles the bell inside my backpack. Gives us 30 seconds warning. Mira nodded, gripping a desk leg like a club. Good. Rotate watches. 2 at the door, 2 at windows, rest prep supplies, water bottles as projectiles, books for shields. Her mind raced to Leo. 8 years old, probably hiding under his desk right now. She couldn't think it. Not yet. The school's PA blared again, the principal's voice this time, trembling but official. Roll call update, classrooms 101 through 1052 accounted for. 118, absent. Repeat, Leo Santos's homeroom, 118, missing for muster. If you're hearing this, signal now. Authorities inbound. Mira froze, blood roaring in her ears. Leo. Gone. Not sealed in, not responding. Taken already? The words clawed at her, what she couldn't lose. Her little brother, the one who'd braided her hair that morning, promising to beat her at math quiz. The class badge on the door suddenly felt like a lie. They weren't safe. None of them were. Kai, she started, voice cracking. He held up a hand, eyes locked on the intercom's flickering screen. A digital packet bled through the hack, alien code scrolling in jagged glyphs. Intercept. Neuroscan burst. They're not random, targeting a memory signature. He decoded it on the fly, projecting the data onto the whiteboard with a jury-rigged laser pointer. Look, Theta Wave Cluster, age 510. First bike ride, lost tooth. That stupid family picnic game, Duck Duck Goose. Shared across siblings, they're hunting emotional anchors. Rip those out. Humans fold easier into the collective. Mira's fists clenched, nails biting palms. The origami crane tinkled softly. Patrol. Close. Her classmates huddled closer, eyes on her, waiting for the order that would define them. Surrender meant losing Leo's laugh, The class's dumb inside jokes, everything that made fighting worth it. But holding meant lying, cheating, maybe worse, using the weak spots these bastards craved against them. "Quiet," she whispered, barricade creaking under pressure. The patrol's shadow slithered under the door. Commander Lear's voice echoed distantly in the hall. "Isolate the outliers, map their bonds first." Kai's face hardened, his calculating eyes meeting hers. "We use it, Mira. Fake a memory burst. Draw them off Leo's trail. Compromise now, or lose everything." She swallowed the bile rising, bending rules, turning their humanity into bait. But Leo's face flashed. Gap-toothed grin, trusting her to fix it all. "Rig it," she said finally, voice steel. "We break their game before they break us." The skiff outside revved, beams intensifying, and the first crackle of forced entry hummed against the walls. Mira hefted her desk leg club, classmates arming behind her. The eagle badge gleamed defiantly, no assimilation today. Not while she breathed, but as Kai patched the fake signal into the intercom, doubt gnawed. How much of themselves would they sacrifice to keep the rest? The patrol hammered the door, vibrations shaking the crane. Time up. Mira swung first. The door buckled inward, alien probe arm thrusting through the gap like a silver viper. She cracked it with the leg, sparks flying, the arm recoiling with a hiss. Push back. Classmates shoved desks, a chorus of grunts and screams. Kai's fake neuro packet burst out the speakers, flooding the hall with mimicked childhood echoes, laughter, a child's cry, masking Leo's true signature. The probe withdrew, footsteps retreating. For now, panting, Mira slumped against the wall, scanning faces. Fear, but fire too. Kai grinned faintly, wiping blood from a cut lip. It worked. Bought time. But the PA droned again. 118 still dark. Last call. Leo, her anchor, their weakness. Commander Lear's assimilation wasn't just tech. It weaponized love, family, the glue holding humans together. To win, they'd erode it, lie with their own memories. Outside, skiffs regrouped. Perimeter tightening. Mira pinned her bracelet. Leo's. To the badge. "Hold on, kid." The cost was climbing, identity fraying at the edges. But surrender? Never. Kai's sensor tinkled again. More patrols, converging. Next wave incoming. What's the play? Mira straightened, resolve hardening like scar tissue. We hit back, make them fear the bonds they want to steal. Mira's fingers flew across Kai's cracked tablet, the intercepted scan flickering under the dim emergency lights of the Chem lab. Alien glyphs pulsed like veins, mapping neural signatures. Hers, her classmates, even the faint echo of Leo's from down the hall. "Look," she hissed, zooming in on the patrol vectors. They're prioritizing emotional clusters. Family ties, friend groups. That's how they hunt. Kai leaned in, his breath sharp with the tang of solder from his jury-rigged tools. Sweat beaded on his forehead, but his eyes stayed cold, calculating. EM shadow. We overload the room's appliances. Microwaves, those old fridges in the stockroom. Pulse them in sequence, scramble the signatures without frying our brains. He didn't wait for her nod. Already yanking the microwave door open, wires spilling like guts. Mira grabbed the blender from the demo station, her hand steady despite the knot in her chest. Fear clawed at her resolve, but Leo's face, small, trusting, pushed it down. They worked in frantic silence, stripping cords, twisting foil into crude capacitors. The first test hummed to life. A low whine that made the lights flicker and the scan on the tablet glitch, human signatures blurring into static fog. Mira exhaled, tasting victory bitter as battery acid. It works. They'll see ghosts. Kai pocketed a spare battery, glancing at the origami crane on the counter, the one she'd folded from notebook paper during last period, creased with memories of Leo's clumsy imitations. "Decoy. Wire it with the phone's vibrator, set it buzzing at their frequency. Lure the patrol to the east wing." Mira nodded, her pulse sinking to the plan. They slipped into the corridor, shadows hugging the lockers dented from years of slams and fights. The crane went live with a taped battery, its wings trembling faintly as they synced it to the scan's patrol ping. Distant boots echoed, alien tread, precise and unhurried. The patrol veered, scanners sweeping toward the decoy's false beacon. Corridor clear. "Go," Mira whispered. They cracked the doors to the adjacent classrooms, art room and history, whispering kids out in huddled lines, eyes wide with the animal terror of the hunted. 30 souls herded like sheep toward the ChemLab shadow. Ms. Harrow met them at the junction. Her gray bun frayed, sleeves rolled up over wiry arms that had once hauled lab equipment solo. "I've got the rear," she said, voice gravel from chain-smoking faculty lounge breaks. No questions, no hesitation. Just a nod as she gripped a metal pointer like a baton. The group surged forward, footsteps muffled on the tile. Then the whine cut short. Patrol rerouted too fast. Drones hummed overhead, red lights slicing the dark. "Back!" Mira yelled, shoving a girl named Sophia ahead. But Harrow planted herself at the door, pointer raised. "Run, damn it! I've got daughters older than you." The first shot cracked, blue plasma searing Harrow's shoulder. She staggered but swung, cracking a drone's lens. Kids screamed past, piling into the lab. Another bolt hit center mass. Harrow crumpled, eyes locking on Mira's with brutal clarity. Protect them. Her chest heaved once, then stilled. Blood pooled, dark and final. The first real tear in their fragile world. Mira slammed the door, barricading it with the desk, bile rising as sobs echoed behind her. Harrow's body lay out there, cooling in the corridor, a marker now for anyone who followed. Kai was already at the tablet when the school's PA crackled to life. Commander Lear's voice filtering through, clinical as a scalpel, human designation, educators expendable. Neural harvest commences, register erasure initiating. A pulse throbbed through the walls, low-frequency thrum that made Mira's teeth ache. The lab's ancient computer flickered, then died. She yanked it open. Files gone. Names, grades, photos, wiped. Leo's class list, her own transcript, all vapor. "They're erasing us," Kai muttered, scrolling his tablet. Backup archives flickered empty. No records, no identity. Assimilation starts clean. Mira's fists clenched, nails biting palms. Not Leo. Not today. But the mapper drone outside ramped up, its scan piercing the EM shadow, hungry for fresh minds. Kai stared at his tablet. The scholarship app half-filled, his ticket out, proof of genius amid the chaos. Then he smashed it against the counter, sparks flying as he tore out the core chip. Generator. Main power feeds their mapper. I overload it. We blind them. His voice cracked but eyes burned. Tablets fried. Apps gone. No scholarship. But it buys time. She grabbed his arm. "Kai, do it with me." He was already moving, prying open a vent grate with a screwdriver. They crawled through ducts, dust-choking lungs, the school's skeleton groaning under invasion weight. The generator room loomed, massive and humming. Alien probes jacked into its lines. Kai wedged the chip into the control panel, rerouting power through a jury-rigged loop. Sparks erupted. The machine screamed. Lights dying school-wide. Drones faltered outside, crashing in showers of shards. But Kai's hands blistered, tablet remnants melting into slag. His future, ashes. They burst back into the lab to chaos. Kids huddled, Harrow's loss raw in their stares. Mira forced calm, assigning watches, but grief gnawed her edges. How many more bodies before they broke? Footsteps thundered outside, heavy boots, human. The door rattled, then burst open. Principal Ortega strode in, flanked by 4 armed janitors and teachers. Rifles scavenged from the RO unit's closet. His suit hung rumpled, face etched with the war-scarred lines of a man who'd negotiated budgets like battles. Ortega. Mira breathed, hope warring with suspicion. He scanned the room, eyes lingering on the blood-smeared door. Lear's convoy is pulling back. Your blackout brought breathing room. But they're regrouping. I talked terms. He thrust a crumpled list forward, voices murmuring behind him. We hand over the vulnerable classes. Youngest, no guardians. They guarantee the rest safe passage. Neural scans waved. Mira snatched the paper, heart slamming. Names scrolled. First graders, specials, and there, third row, Leo Santos. Her brother, her line in the sand. You'd sell them? Kai snarled, stepping forward, blistered hands flexing. Ortega's jaw tightened, moral fracture plain. It's survival. Half the school now, or none. Liar's army needs minds, not corpses. We trade smart. Mira's vision tunneled, the list crumpling in her grip. Bonds as weapons, hers against her own. Outside, engines growled to life, convoy lights piercing the blackout. Load up starting. Leo's name burned like a brand. Mira's vision tunneled tighter, the crumpled list biting into her palm like shrapnel. She crouched in the shadowed alcove off the principal's office, breath shallow, watching through the cracked door as Principal Ortega's hand trembled over the holographic tablet. Commander Lear loomed opposite, its elongated frame casting a sterile blue glow from the embedded neural ports along its limbs, ports that hummed now, syncing with the document. Sign, Lear intoned, voice a flat ripple through the air, like water over stone. No anger, no triumph, just inevitability. The cohorts listed, Classrooms 7B, 9A, 11C. Their neural plasticity will stabilize our collective. You preserve the rest. Ortega's eyes darted to the window, where convoy drones idled beyond the fence, their engines a low thunder. Their children. My students. This buys time for the others? Affirmative. Refusal forfeits all. Lear's optic cluster pulsed once, unblinking. Human hierarchy demands sacrifice. Execute. The pen scratched, wet, final. Ortega's signature bloomed green on the hollow. Leo's classroom. Her brother's name. Third from the top. Mira's gut knifed. Betrayal hit like a gut punch from someone she'd trusted to hold the line. Ortega slumped, whispering, God help me, as Leo retracted the tablet. Custody transferred. Load up accelerating outside. Mira bolted before the door swung wide, heart slamming, corridors blurring. Duty to the class. Gone. Ortega had carved them up for survival. Leo first. No more waiting for signals, for Kai's gadgets, for some grand human stand. She veered into the maintenance closet, snatching a insulated cutter from the shelf. School tools, always school tools. Her flaw, acting alone, surged now. Intercept the convoy solo. Rerouted off the main drag. Grab Leo mid-haul. Irreversible. Personal. Over-collective. But blood first. She slipped toward the loading yard, shadows her only ally, when Kai's voice sliced from the dark. Mira, stop. He blocked the exit, face gaunt under the emergency strips, toolkit slung low. His eyes flicked to the cutter. Then her clenched fist, still crushing Ortega's leaked list. I saw the signing feed. Hack on the office cam. We're fucked, but not stupid.
Solo raid? That's suicide.
Leo, she hissed, shoving past. They're rolling now. I tamper the crane signals. Reroute them down Service Road 4, away from Lear's scanners. 2 minutes, in and out. Kai grabbed her arm, grip iron. And leave the rest? Ortega sold them out, fine, but you trigger an alert. Whole convoy scatters, or worse, Lear scrubs them on site. Partnership means plans, not lone wolf. I'm not dying for your brother over the class. She wrenched free, accusation burning. Partnership? You've been shortcutting morals since drop, rigging votes, skimping rations for your future. This is family, Kai. Back me, or stay out. His jaw tightened, shame flickering, calculating boy, always weighing scholarships against graves. Can't. Risk too high. We regroup. Hit their relay later. Distance cracked open between them. Words. A wedge. He stepped back, eyes cold. Broken. Mira didn't wait. She darted to the perimeter, where her origami cranes dangled from chain link, delicate paper birds folded with microchips inside, her signal net to scattered holdouts. Convoy lights swept closer. 3 armored haulers, drone escorts humming, students herded aboard under guard. Leo's face flashed in a window, small and defiant. Fingers steady despite the shake, she sliced the lead crane's thread, reprogramming the chip with the cutter's pulse. Reroute command, looping them south. 1 bird fluttered free, signal broadcasting. Seconds ticked. Haulers lurched forward, veering as ordered. Then, screech of alien interceptors. Lear's ambushed drones boiled from the tree line, triggered by the tamper. Beams lanced, ripping the second hauler's flank. Screams erupted. Mira lunged from cover, cutter sparking but too late. Juno, the quiet artist from 11C, tumbled from the breach, body crumpling under a drone's crush field. Blood sprayed black in the lights. Her crane signal clutched useless in dead fingers. Emotional ledger redlined. Another casualty, on Mira's call. Class identity fracturing, 1 death at a time. Chaos reigned. Haulers scattered, guards neural stunning stragglers. Mira dove for Leo's wreck, hauling him clear as drones circled. But Lear materialized. Teleport shunt. frame towering. A limb snapped out, seizing Leo by the collar, hoisting him like a specimen. Human designate Mira Santos. Lear broadcast, voice amplifying across the yard, spotlights pinning her. Leo dangled, kicking, eyes wide on her. Your interference noted. Diagnostic interface initiating. Public calibration. Leo's scream cut short as Lear's chest port irised open. Tendrils snaking into his temples. Hollow projections flared, brain maps, neural fireworks of memory. Mom's laugh, Mira's bedtime stories, class pranks, laid bare for all to see. Students froze in the wreckage. Ortega's betrayal paling against this violation. Liar's optics fixed on Mira. Surrender protocol. Join collective halt napping. Or witness assimilation. Human bonds, quantifiable. Expendable. Pressure crushed her. Sabotage their interface, risk Leo's mind. Surrender, erode everything. Moral norms cracking under her feet. Across the yard, hidden in the fence shadows, Kai watched the hollow glow paint Mira's face. Shame coiled in his gut, fear of the void without his scholarship, without them. Fingers trembled on his wrist comb. Aliens offered liaison channels. Amnesty for intel. One falsified ping. Mira's position, tweaked to draw them off true. Betrayal, to save the math. He keyed it. Voice a whisper. Liaison. Coordinates 47.2 north. Active insurgent. Click. Done. Everything slipping but his future intact. For now, patrol drones hummed to life across the yard, their iridescent shells fracturing the night as they banked toward the old gym. Kai's ping had worked. False coordinates pulling 2 full squads from the perimeter, their neural links pulsing with urgent overrides. Mira crouched in the drainage ditch, heart slamming against her ribs, and hissed into her wrist comb. Diversions live. Team, move now. Leo, stay tight on me. Leo nodded, his small frame pressed against the slimy concrete, eyes wide but trusting. Beside them, Kai slithered from the fence shadows, right hand already slick with sweat, his face a mask of forced calm. 3 other classmates, Rena with her lockpicks, Jax hauling the jury-rigged DMP satchel, flanked them in silence, no time for doubt. The alien command module loomed 50 meters off, a sleek obsidian pod fused to the school's admin wing like a tumor, its access hatch flickering with scan fields. Mira's plan hinged on the chaos, slip in while patrols chased ghosts in the gym. She darted first, boots silent on dew-slick grass, Leo's breath ragged behind her. Kai fed interference from his comm, scrambling the pod's outer sensors just long enough for Rena to jam the hatch with a scavenged maglock. It hissed open. Inside, the air reeked of ozone and synthetic chill. Corridors lined with throbbing data vines pulsing alien code. Mira waved them forward, pulse racing. This wasn't a raid for weapons. It was deeper. The invaders cataloged human identity signatures, like barcodes, stable neural maps for their failing collective. Disrupt that, and their assimilation ground to a halt. They split at the core junction. Kai and Jax to the override relays below, the rest to the broadcast nexus. Mira led Leo and Rena up a service ladder, muscles burning, into the heart, a chamber of holographic consoles orbiting a central chime array, the school's ancient intercom hijacked as a neural emitter. Class badge registry terminals blinked nearby, each kid's photo and bio etched into the invader's scans for targeting. Perfect. Huck, the chimes to the badges, Mira whispered, shoving Leo behind a console. Her fingers flew over the interface, splicing wires from her rep badge, a laminated chip with every class photo, prank note, and shared lunch memory encoded in metadata. Rena patched in the intercom's frequency modulator, stolen from the AV room. Aliens relied on clean identity data. Humans were messy, layered with emotions they dismissed as noise. Mira twisted the feed, layering manipulated social memories, forged neural echoes of unbreakable class bonds, laced with viral doubt. Laughter from the last field trip, that stupid talent show where Leo tripped on stage. Her own voice yelling at Kai for hacking grades, amplified, broadcast on their signature channels, it would flood their links like emotional shrapnel, questioning every stable map. The chimes rang out first, a warped peal echoing through the pod and beyond, into patrol drones and soldier implants. Mira hit transmit. Holoscreens flickered as the signal bloomed. Badge registry hijacked to pulse the montage across the network. Alien voices crackled in response, clipped and confused. Identity flux detected. Social contaminants, recalibrate. In the override relay pit below, Kai's world narrowed to the manual clamp. Alarms wailed as Commander Lear's face materialized on the main holo. His elongated skull creased in fury, multifaceted eyes narrowing. Neural override, full spectrum, purge the broadcast. Isolate the insurgents. Jax jammed the EMP too late. Lear's command bypassed it. Hardware relays sparking to life, ready to fry the signal. Kai's stomach dropped. His dominant hand, the one that built circuits from scrap, that dreamed of scholarships and clean escapes, no choice. He lunged for the master clamp, a massive hydraulic vise meant for docking clamps now jury-rigged to crush the core. Fingers wrapped the lever, but the override field blocked it halfway, servos whining, burning his palm against the heat shield. Kai, status. Mira's voice cut through his calm, tight with fear. He gritted teeth, vision blurring. Sacrifice the hand or lose the broadcast, lose them all. With a roar, he threw his weight, bones grinding as the clamp bit down. Metal screamed, override boards shattering in a shower of arcs. Pain exploded up his arm. Flesh pulped, tendons snapping, but the field died. Broadcast held. Up top, Mira exhaled sharp, glimpsing the relay feed on her console. Kai slumped, Jax dragging him back, blood pooling. Cost paid. But Lear adapted fast. His hollow swelled, voice like grinding glass. Assimilation protocol. Priority target Leo Santos. Extract and map immediately. Breach the pod. Drones swarmed the hatch, sealing them in. Leo whimpered, clutching her leg. Scans locked on him, assimilation tendrils snaking from the walls, needle probes hungry for his neural signature to strip and repurpose for their collective. Safe retreat meant venting the pod, dooming Kai and Jax below. Or fight dirty. Mira's gut twisted. Retreat. And Leo's mind dissolved into their hive. Fight, and she'd weaponize their own bonds against them, permanently. Her badge chip, burned in her grip. The class registry's archival core tied to it. Upload a false memory now, a planted fracture, keyed to every badge signature. Claiming the school's youth were already corrupted, their identities expendable by alien doctrine. It would erase Lear's justification for harvest, make assimilation suicide, but it'd corrupt the archive forever. No recovery of real memories, no clean human record. Their history, twisted as a lie to survive. Leo's eyes met hers, trusting. Kai's voice rasped over calm. Do it, Mira. Hands gone. Make it count. She slammed the upload. False memories surged. Holographic ghosts of classmates rejecting the collective. Bonds forged in defiance. Laced with Lear's own philosophy inverted. Individuals expendable, but this group poisoned from inception. The stream hit assimilation probes mid-lunge, tendrils convulsing, retracting in error cascades. Lear's holo glitched, his orders fracturing across the network. Then, the split hit. From the pod's outer feeds, Mira watched patrols halt mid-swarm. A faction, 6 soldiers mid-rank by their crest markings, froze, implants glowing with the broadcast's bleed. One raised a limb, voice broadcasting open-channel dissent. Commander, the signatures, they resist mapping. Social matrices unstable. Protocol violation, Lear's response thundered. Obey or purge. But the faction held, weapons lowering, forming a wedge at the command core's outer seal. A crack opened, unexpected, raw. Mira pulled Leo close, signaling Rena. Cores exposed. We push. The cost clawed at her. Kai's hand mangled, archives poisoned, human identity bent into a blade. Worth it? Leo's grip tightened. For now, yes, they moved. Mira slammed her shoulder into the core seal's jagged edge, the metal groaning under the wedge of lowered rifles. Dust choked the air, thick with the tang of scorched circuits. As the class surged behind her, 20 survivors, faces smeared in grime and resolve. Leo clung to her side, his breaths ragged, eyes darting like he half remembered this fight. Registry access, she barked at Kai, who knelt amid the sparking panels, his mangled hand wrapped in a blood-soaked rag. He nodded once, fingers flying over the jury-rigged tablet. The corrupted files, school records laced with viral code from the chem lab, hummed to life on the central holoscreen. Lear's command node loomed at the chamber's heart, a pulsating orb of alien lattice, flanked by 2 drone sentinels that whirred in confusion. Commander Lear's voice crackled from the node. Clinical as ever. Human adolescent, your breach is logged. Harvest protocols engage in. Mira didn't let it finish. Now Kai. She thumbed the detonator glyph. A school-issued panic button rewired for this. The holoscreen erupted in fractal chaos. Genealogy shredded, neural maps inverted, every legal claim to their youth cohort rewritten as contaminant. The node's lattice flickered, red alerts blooming like wounds. Lear's drones spasmed, locking down as withdrawal mandates flooded their protocols, assimilation voided without verifiable baselines. The commander's projection materialized tall and angular, its multifaceted eyes narrowing. Corruption cascade confirmed. Harvest grounds. Invalidated. A pause, the first crack in its hierarchy. Withdrawal imperative. Mira's chest heaved, victory bitter on her tongue. The school's archives. Centuries of human lineage, now digital ash, gone forever. Politicians would howl about lost heritage, but the class was free. Strategic win. Relational fracture sealed. Lear's forces peeled back, drones retracting into vents with mechanical whines, but Leo swayed beside her, his grip slackening. Mira, where? The lights? His voice cracked, gaps shadowing his gaze. Physically here, pulled from the partial link chamber they'd raided en route, but the aliens had carved chunks from his mind. Class Trip's mom's laugh erased for mapping. She cupped his face, throat tight. You're back. That's enough. No time for grief. Alien survivors milled in the outer halls, disoriented without directives. Rifles snapped up as Mira stepped into the broadcast nexus, a salvaged PA array from the auditorium. Kai shot her a look, calculating, warning, but she ignored it. This is Mira Santos, she declared, voice booming through the school's crumbling corridors and into every surviving comm. Class rep, your harvest is dead. Stand down, or we memory loop you next. Her face filled the emergency feeds, anonymity shattered. No hiding now. Recovery patrols would know her, quarantine her as a vector. Safety traded for truce. Scattered alien forms froze, scouts, technicians, their hierarchies crumbling without Lair's node. One raised a mandible in signal, others followed, weapons powering down. Truce held, fragile as cracked ice. Kai lingered by the beacon pedestal, the last alien uplink pulsing faintly in the core's shadow. Go, he said, voice flat. I'll finish it. Mira hesitated, the class edging toward the exit breach. Kai, scholarship's dust anyway. He met her eyes, no regret, just the cold math of his flaw. Exiles my cut. Exiles my cut. His good hand clamped a plasma cutter to the base, sparks flying as he severed the final anchor. The beacon wailed, off-world links severing permanently. Kai's future forfeited. A ghost in the ruins. She nodded, pulling Leo along as the group funneled out. Drones hummed retreat in the distance, Lear's withdrawal rippling through the invasion grid. Outside the core, in the shattered atrium, Principal Ortega knelt amid militia cuffs, his face ashen under floodlights. Recovery teams, unenforcers in hazard suits, swarmed the grounds barking orders. Ortega, you're relieved. Collaboration charges pending. The principal's eyes locked on Mira, pleading. I bargained for lives. You bargained us away. Rena spat at his feet, the class murmuring agreement. Trust snapped like brittle bone. Ortega's authority evaporated, his legacy detention-bound. Mira turned away. The severance a clean wound. Deeper in the command wing, they'd cornered Lear itself, pinned by improvised EMP grenades. Its exosuit cracked. The class dragged it to the memory theater, a classroom rigged with looped hollows, birthday reels, prom fights, sibling squabbles, raw human bonds, unfiltered. Mira activated the feed, piping it straight into the commander's neural ports via salvaged probes. Lair thrashed once, then stilled. Its eyes flickered through the loops, Mira's arm around Leo at the science fair, Kai's grin over a hacked drone, the class chanting at pep rally. Social memory, recursive. Individuality, propagates. The voice glitched, worldview fracturing. Assimilation matrix, unstable. Concession, policy unsustainable. Individual codes, resist collective overwrite. Mira leaned close, rifle steady. Go tell your fleets, humans don't harvest clean. Lear's form dimmed, transport beacon activating under truce terms. Captured, exposed, transformed. Not broken, but bent. It conceded, withdrawing fully as the last drones lifted off. The class emerged into dawn light, Ghoul's husk smoldering behind them. Militia parted, eyes wary on Mira's broadcast fame. Leo leaned on her, piecing fragments. I remember your voice in the dark. She squeezed his shoulder, the cost etching deeper. Archives lost, Kai exiled, her face galactic now. Identity preserved, but bent into deception's blade. Worth it? Leo's half-smile said yes. For now. Then, a militia comm crackled open, intercept feed patching through, priority uplink, off-world origin, recording acquired. Mira froze as the audio bloomed, her own voice echoing from the broadcast, layered with alien harmonics, patterns analyzed, replicated. Human social weapon, memory broadcast, adaptation protocol initiated, fleet vectors adjusting, the stars above flickered, distant signatures shifting course. Observed, adapted, the war's echo just beginning.